So certifications versus experience, which one matters more? Okay. Certifications are fantastic. You can get certifications. If you want to get into network engineering, the best certification is going to be the CCNA. But that is not going to be your golden ticket. I've helped people with 0 certification land position, and I've helped people with 5 certifications land positions. So it doesn't matter. But I'll tell you this right now, experience trumps them all. And it's not even close. It is not even close. When I'm interviewing now as a senior network engineer, I am not even, I'm not even bringing up my CCNA. I'm not even bringing up any certification that I've taken. Even the CISSP, I'm not even bringing that up. Why would I bring it up? Because I have experience to back it up. All right. I can talk the talk. I can explain myself. I can talk about the work that I've done. And that's more than enough in the interview process, right? So people, this is for like people who have experience. I'm trying to kind of give you the guys a confidence of understanding. But the way I used to think back then with no experience versus the way I think now is completely different. Like, first of all, you have more opportunity now because obviously you have that experience. But now you're like, oh, how do I get that experience? First of all, the best way to get that experience is going to be mentorship. You need to get mentorship. You need to get guidance. You need to get someone to teach you and exactly show you exactly how to get the right skill sets, because that is what I did. That is what I've helped a lot of students do. And it's not as easy. It's not as hard as you think. Right? Because as an engineer, we do multiple different activities aside from the ticket, like aside from the certification, which is like teaches you the foundation, teaches you how protocols work and all that stuff. But you don't learn how to work as an engineer. You don't learn about ticketing systems. You don't learn about change management. You don't learn about monitoring tools. You don't learn about how to use all these things, how to work with documentation, how to work with a team, how to troubleshoot in a production environment, how to hop on a bridge call, how to answer tickets, how to do all these things. These are activities that we do on the job. As engineers, we use tons of software, right? One of the softwares that we use is a software called WinMerge, which is basically a configuration. It's basically a way to we mainly use this for pre and post checks for configs. But the whole point of this tool is to basically look for any discrepancies in the configurations from the pre and post check after you do a maintenance window. And the way I'm talking, you're like, hey, I never heard of this terminology and it's not in the CCNA, because the CCNA is just to give you the basic foundational knowledge. It's not there to teach you every single aspect of the job, because those job activities come from you doing the job. But you can actually get those job activities by speaking to an individual, working with someone who can actually help you get those exact skill sets. Because at the end of the day, guys, think about this. At the end of the day, getting a job as an engineer is all about learning what the person of an engineer does, learning the exact skill sets, and then using that on the interview process and explain those concepts. So I highly suggest learning the types of ticketing systems we use, which is one of them is called Jira. Learning all the types of software we use. One of them is called SolarWinds for monitoring, right? MRTG for monitoring as well. You can use PRTG. There's Grafana. There's all these tools. Just learn one of them. Learn how the GUI works. It's basically just a GUI. Learn about the small tasks that we do as engineers, right? We do decommissions, we do upgrades, we do all these things. All these activities that we do as engineers, right? All these types of activities are things that are not really covered in the CCNA. And I had that rude awakening when I got my first ever job as an engineer. I didn't learn all these things before the CCNA. I learned it on the job. And then nowadays, the problem with people is they're just trying to memorize certification questions and then hopefully pass the CCNA and then go into the interview and don't even know how to troubleshoot when a port is down, right? Maybe they've done it on packet tracer, right? They just do a quick no shutdown, it's up. No, there's other issues. You got to look at the OTDR. You may have to use a VRF. You may have to clean the port. You have to swap out the SSP. You may have to do RMA requests to do that. You may have to what is it called? Swap the optic. You may have to roll the optic, right? There's a lot of things that you can do to just fix layer one. That's just layer one, just the physical aspect, right? Just to get 2 ports to connect to each other, to talk to each other, right? Look at the light levels, look at the DBM rating. All these things are not really covered in the CCNA, but they're job activity tasks that you do as part of just a troubleshooting session. Maybe you're on a bridge call, being able to explain an issue to a customer, to another team member about what is happening, right? Maybe you're doing project work. There's a project, maybe you're building out a data center. Deciding on when the project will be done, speaking with change management to decide on when the change can be conducted, because there's other people that are also working on that same switch as yours. All these things that we do as engineers are basically activities that we do. So stop overthinking just a certification. Focus more on job-related tasks, and that's exactly what I help people in my program. There's a link in my description. We basically teach people exactly the day-to-day aspects of engineers, teach them how to troubleshoot actual devices on a network, how to actually work within a network, and actually give them the real-life network engineering context. That way they can use it in the interview session, because at the end of the day, people don't know what to do. They freeze up in interviews, they get lost, and they don't know what skills actually matter. Right? People are learning random stuff like EIGRP, a protocol that I've never seen used in production networks. All the interviews I've done, all the interview I've seen from those students, no one brings it up yet. People want to learn EIGRP, a Cisco proprietary dynamic routing protocol, right? It's cool. You can learn it. You can use it, I guess, for fun, but no one uses it in production. So why are we wasting time on things that are not really relevant, right? But here's the thing, right? As an engineer, you have knowing which ones matter more and less is very important, right? The two biggest protocols that we use as engineers is BGP and OSPF. So learning those two is going to be extremely, extremely critical, right? So that's how I see where the market is going right now in terms of certifications, right? Like I have what is known as probably the best certification you can get on the market, the CISSP. And guess what? I think this is even overrated as well. I think also the CISSP is overrated. And people say this is the golden ticket certification, like, oh, you can make so much money with it. Guys, it wasn't even that hard, first of all. Like, I mean, it was hard, but it wasn't like extremely difficult to the point where, you know, it's impossible. Like, you can pass it if you really try. And then number two, it's not like as soon as you get a certification, everyone's going to want to hire you. That's not how it works. If that was the case, I would tell you, hey, get this certification, and then you're going to get hired in like a week. But unless you have a security clearance, what I notice is people with security clearances, it's way easier. So if you have a security clearance, you're a lucky one. Hopefully I'll get one soon. That's what I'm praying for, but you know, maybe one day. But if you have a security clearance, like most people, if you have a security clearance, like it's much more easier for you. But nonetheless, getting a job in tech in 2026, stop focusing on certification, focus on job-related activities. Okay? Job-related activities. Job-related activities are activities, like I mentioned, that you do on the job. And once you do these activities, like maybe troubleshooting a device, maybe working on a project, maybe just even going in a meeting and understanding what to say in a meeting about a ticket, right? How to escalate work as well. Things like that. We just do random stuff throughout the day, right? We're not, as engineers, we do what are known as BAU activities, business as usual, small little stuff. We do project-based work. We have maybe it takes a week to months to work on that. We have to do multiple stakeholders. We have to pass tickets to other teams and et cetera. Or troubleshooting, which is more mission critical, where it's more customer impacting, where something goes down. All these things need to be managed and configured, and someone has to do it, right? So all these things matter as engineers, and these are things that we do on the job. So stop overthinking all this stuff. Get the skills, learn how to interview, and you're in a better position than those who have 17 certifications, all the CompTIAs, but can't even tell you how to troubleshoot a device and get lost. So that's just my recommendation. If you guys need more help on how to do this, we have a whole program starting from zero that will help you get all the right skill sets to eventually land that first role as a network administrator. There's a link in my description if you're interested in that. But if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to subscribe, click the subscribe button, and peace.